I think planning and preparation, being ready, is what separates the average salesperson, the average business person, from everybody else. It's taking that time to do the research. I mean, you said you looked on LinkedIn again and looked at my background. You took the time to see what I have done in my work. And a lot of people don't do that. They'll show up blind, so to speak, and not be fully prepared. And rather than being able to get in a conversation, they ask, well, tell me what you do for a living. Well, in this day and age, you should know that already. And because there's so many ways to get information about people on LinkedIn, on social media, you can read up about them. You can read up about their companies. That's a question that's interesting when I work with the salespeople, and they'll say, Dean, can you tell me a little bit about Wiley, or tell me about Simon & Schuster, or tell me about Pearson Prentice-Hall where you first started out? Well, that's readily available information, and you should know that already. What's a better question to ask is that, Dean, I see during your career at Wiley, the company grew from being a $300 million company to $2 billion company. Obviously, that wasn't the result of me. That was the result of the company expanding and growing and just being a terrific place to work. But that's readily available information. So you're able to ask more inquisitive questions. And actually, it shows a respect for a person that you've taken that time to do the research and planning and preparation about them. I add to that line, I always say, you don't need a Harvard MBA or a Stanford MBA to do that. And I jokingly always say, I'm a 3.0 in college, and I was a B student. And so how do you separate yourself from others that you may be competing with or working with? Well, it's planning and preparation, and it's research, care for others with emotional intelligence. Again, like you said, these should be courses that everybody is required to take at an early age, and learning how the importance of listening to people, showing care and compassion and understanding. And it helps you get a long way in life and in your career and personal life too.
True that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I watch a TV show or a documentary or something that really sparks me, I will go onto LinkedIn and see if they're on there and try to connect with them and say, hey, I loved your documentary. I just wanted to connect, because you never know. You might be able to work with that person in the future. Like, that's really exciting that we can literally at the fingertips find anyone in the world and connect and say, hey, I want to work with you.
Yeah, that's so true. It's in many cases, people don't respond, or they get bombarded with information, or they may be that big of a person, they just don't have the time to reach out to everybody. But again, you'd be surprised that people like to hear that they've done a good job. And, so if you write to somebody, hey, I really liked what you did, I'd love to connect. And then at that point, you're not selling anything or marketing anything. I just want to connect. I want to learn a little bit more about you. It's exactly how you and I met. You watched my course and you posted something. You said, Dean, I really learned a lot. Thank you so much. And I can't respond. The instructors can't respond to everybody. And I was but yours popped up on my LinkedIn feed, and I said, hey, that's terrific. I'm so glad you took my course. Thank you so much. And then that led to other conversations. You never know what can develop. It's not going to happen every time, but you'll be amazed. If you don't make the effort to even try, then it's never going to happen. So you find those right opportunities, and and see if things can develop. And that's again, we're a good example of how that worked.
I know, right? The legends of LinkedIn.
Yes, absolutely.
Making it happen.
Yeah, it's I think it's one of the most important tools in business and personal life. Of trying to learn about people is LinkedIn. It's a business. It's a way of reaching and learning about people and what they believe in as far as in business topics. It's also being frequently, I post pretty regularly on LinkedIn about sales-related issues and business-related topics. I like doing videos, like you've done videos talking about your book and promoting it and talking about that. And it's amazing. It's a little extra work, and you do have to take some time to write things, but it's not that hard. And
you're building your resume.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's amazing who you connect with, and the friends that I've made, and the connections I've made, and it's I think it's a fun way of doing it. It's not Facebook, it's not Twitter, it's not Instagram. This is now, there are people who try to do things like that, but if you can focus on business, and if you can focus on interpersonal relations and connections like you and I are doing,
Hmm.
LinkedIn is an outstanding way to get that done. And it's a simple way of networking for those people who are scared to death of networking.
Right? Who don't know any other way than the digital way.
Right.
And there's so many new courses I'm seeing that are appearing all the time that are coming up. They're evolving with the times as people evolve and grow. They're out there sharing the knowledge and wisdom. So it's definitely an evolving platform to stay part of forever, probably, as long as you're alive.
Yeah, no, I mean, I say this all the time on LinkedIn Learning. You have access to, I mean, I'm a salesman. I mean, so like there's thousands of salesmen, but there are instructors who are instructors from, the Kelly School at Indiana, the Fisher School of Business at Ohio State, Stanford, University of Houston. There's a
Mhm.
great instructor, Todd Dewett, he's a doctorate in business, and he's got courses on leadership. Chris Croft, Dave Crenshaw, Tatiana Kolovu. The list goes on. Gemma Lee Roberts, Aaron Shrimpton. I
Yep.
could go all through these names. These people are all stars, and you have an
Right.
access to them for very limited amount of money. I mean, as you mentioned, there's a monthly fee, $20, $25, I think it is, for a license, and you can, stop at any time, so to speak. And I feel like we're
Right.
doing a promotion for LinkedIn Learning, but we're not.
Right.
But it's like,
But
but it's so
you know
true.
what? If people don't understand this too, the certificates can attach to your profile. So
Yeah,
everybody can see all the different certifications and courses you've taken. So it proves that you really have that Adobe Premiere or PowerPoint or whatever you've taken, business connecting and sales management, all these things show up. So there's no denying it. Plus you can print out the certificates. So just
absolutely.
saying, people, it's a great way.
Yeah.